what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at a special filming spot location because guess what? We have the baddest mamma jamma when it comes to the Colorado. What the heck am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is a 2024 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2, but guess what? This is the bad boy Bison. But before we get into this mega off-roader of a mid-size truck, let's talk about what's going on here. Mid-size truck sales are going nuts, and I think a lot of it has to do with that. Guess what? Full-size truck prices are out of control. Now, when it comes to mid-size trucks, of course, you're gonna think about your new Toyota Tacoma. You got the Nissan Frontier. You got the sister version of this vehicle, which is the GMC Canyon. And you could even add in the Jeep Gladiator, and don't forget about the Honda Ridgeline. Now, what's fascinating is that for model year 2024, Chevy wanted to really bring it for the off-road specialists and lovers out there, and that's where AEV, American Expedition Vehicles, comes into play for this Bison to exist. But what I want to find out is, we just got done driving the new Tacoma TRD Pro with its hybrid power plant and all the other goodies it brings. Does, though, this Colorado ZR2 Bison bring more for the money over the Toyota? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Nitro Yellow. I want to call it Gold Rush, but this is called Nitro Yellow of a ZR2 Bison, and find out. First of all, if you're wondering, well, Joe, it seems to be sitting higher. It is. You have on the Bison 35-inch tires, whereas on the ZR2, that comes with 33-inch tires. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna notice that the fender flares are wider because we got more rubber. So basically, the front end and the back, 2 inches extra of width. And trust me, there's some of you out there that could use every single inch when it comes to that department, but definitely in the off-road department, you're getting that extra width because we got extra wide wheels and tires. Now, you'll notice how they do their lighting. I've been digging it. LED daytime running lamp. You do have, I gotta zonk, the old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulb, but you do have a projector beam headlight. And even though this is a fake vent area, I do have to say that the front of this ZR2 Bison just really speaks to me. I really like the look. Comparing it to the TRD Pro, remember the TRD Pro comes with 33-inch tires and is a narrower truck compared to this ZR2 Bison. Working our way down, you're gonna have stamped steel AEV front bumpers. Look at what we have. Functional, real deal LED fog lamps. And then as we continue across the front, I like how on the ZR2 and the Bison, how they body color this lower grille area. You are gonna have a forward-facing camera, no washer, that's a zonk. You do have your flow tie to help flow more air to the radiator and all the heat exchangers, and then there's our ZR2 badge. Chevy does a phenomenal job with their badging. You'll notice in the center here, the Bison AEV, American Expedition Vehicles, and underneath, you're not getting aluminum, you're not getting copper, you're not getting tin, you're getting boron steel skid plates front to back. These things are so beefy. Normally I like to bang my knuckle on one. I feel like it's just gonna break my hand because of how beefy these skid plates are. And of course you're gonna have your bright red recovery tow hooks to pull those Tacomas out from underneath all of the quicksand. Now, I'm gonna have Steven kind of slide. We normally don't do this, but I wanted him to showcase, look at the freaking suspension we got. That Multimatic suspension, dual spool valve technology. You can see our beefy lower control arms. All of the inner bits protected by the boron steel. 12.2 inches of ground clearance. The ZR2 has 11 inches. This Bison has 12.2 inches of ground clearance. You could almost drive over a Tacoma. That's how much ground clearance there is. We work our way up. Love the bold hood. I'm okay with the flat black center because it's not meant to look like a vent. On the TRD Pro, you do have a fake vent, but I do love just all of the nice lines. It almost looks like a C8 style, the way they have all these angles and stuff. Really digging what they did with the hood on this vehicle. When we come around the bend, we have special wheels and tires. So look at our AEV. Love that metallic gunmetal gray finish. Full beadlock wheel. That's a 17-inch wheel. Love the style. There's the Bison and AEV there. Tires, 35-inch Goodyear Territory terrain tires. 315s. These wheels are and tires are 1.5 inches wider than the ZR2, with this being a Bison. And then of course, up front, you're gonna get 10 inches of wheel travel. Out back, you're gonna get 11 inches of wheel travel. And because of the extra high lift on this thing, you're gonna have a great approach angle and departure angles to where you're gonna clear all the obstacles like a champ. Now, I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing in and show you the springs, the upper control arm. You got that Multimatic suspension. And then backing away, you see the extra bulge of our fender flares. You got the Colorado name. I wish they would have put that down here. I don't know why they have it so high. Maybe so it doesn't get ripped off when you're off-roading. Gloss black on the mirror caps. You do have a standard size sunroof, and from the side, this thing just looks like a badass. I'm gonna say it. Kids, I apologize for cursing. It's not right of me, but I just had to tell it the way it is. Love the way you're gonna get those beefy frame sliders to protect the frame of the vehicle. Working our way towards the back of the bed. Steven's gonna be able to show you how they have that Multimatic suspension. And then, like I said, 11 inches of wheel travel. That's freaking ridiculous. On the bed, I like the way they do the design with the nice sort of like indentation coming towards the rear. Clean on the badging, ZR2 Bison. That tells it all. Stamped steel rear bumpers. Swinging around back. Of course, we're gonna have our LED taillights, but then we have more of those Thomas Edison light bulbs. Definitely wanna zonk that. AEV with the Bison. Chevrolet across the back. Let's work our way down first. Stamped steel on the rear bumpers. You do have your full towing capability. And then you'll notice, and Steven's gonna swing under here, you can actually see the freaking solid rear axle and the differential back here because they don't have the spare mounted underneath. Where's the spare? Is that what you wanna find out? We'll rise up, soft release, there it is. I love the way it's got the carrier there, your full spare with a 35-inch tire. I am gonna have to zonk that stupid antenna up there. Why, oh why do they have that? It makes it look like an RC car. I don't like that. But I do like the bed liner. You do have all your tie down locations. You even have on the passenger side, check it 1, 2. You have your home power source. And then, of course, we have our storage. This is cool, this is fun, watch this. You could actually put drinks in here. You could make it a cooler, whatever you want. And I love how smart is that to use that area? You don't get that on the Tacoma, just saying. And then you just 1, 2, 3, boom. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop that killer looking hood and see what's powering our Bison. All right guys, we got the hood pocked. You do have a prop rod. Let me know if you're gonna zonk the prop rod. Underneath the hood, it's not fancy dancy like a Tacoma TRD Pro where you have a hybrid setup. We have that 2.7 liter turbocharged inline-4 high output engine, 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque, made it to a revised 8-speed automatic. The truck weighs 5,260 pounds. It could tow 5,500 pounds and has a payload capacity of 1,050 pounds. MPGs, you're probably not gonna wanna hear this. 15 in the city, 16 on the highway. It does utilize 342 gears. So don't expect some low 0 to 60 time because it's just not gonna be there. But what is gonna happen is some crazy off-roading, which I can't wait to do with you. But before we get to that part, let's fire it up and hear what kind of noise the 4-banger makes. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Bison. It's a mouthful, it really is, but there's a lot to this off-road truck. Now, I know what you're saying. Joe, lay it on me. I want an off-road truck. I'm ready for it. I want to go tackle the freaking highest mountains. Not in Florida. Don't do it in Florida. There's no mountains around here. We have speed bumps. That's about it. But you want to tackle all the highest mountains, maybe even Mount Denali. Denali? That's what GMC. But anyways, you want to know what the price is? Here it is. MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right at $66,000. Base is $57,000. So this does have a few options and stuff. And remember, the new Taco, and no, I'm not talking about Taco Bell. I'm talking about the Tacoma TRD Pro is around $66,000. So it's like mano y mano. Which way should you spend your dinero? See what I did there? Let's do it like we do it here on Rady's Rides, to the door panels. My first zonk is, why oh why is that black material hard plastic? I don't understand, especially that's where I like to rest my arm. And especially because as you slide your way down, you got some nice silver trim. And then that gray material is as soft as can be. You do have the highlighter yellow stitching. And the good news is there's no gloss black around the switchgear. Of course, if you're off-roading, you need to have a couple Twinkies. And that mid Twinkie holder is perfect for two. And then you have a nice bottle holder there for a Yeti can, a Bigfoot, or a Sasquatch bottle. No problem. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, it's the same story. Hard plastic, but then soft material, cool camo design, and the ZR2 badge looking great. Slide on in. You got a Bose center speaker to our Bose sound system. And then you'll notice that we have a little bit more than 11 inches of infotainment system. Google Maps, what GM does where they destroy Toyota are the cameras. Check it out. Clear as day. You got your 360, you got your trailer hitch. You could go underneath the truck, which we'll do that when we're off-roading. Out back, all the way around. I mean, there are so many cameras on this thing. Look, it even has a washer. You ready for it? Underneath. That is killer. No washer on the front camera, but they got the washers underneath. So that's cool to see. And then we're right back where we started. Of course, you're going to have all the apps that you could slide through very easily. 1, 2, 3, see all the different apps, trailering. You got your air down mode, which is good, and you got your off-road setup. That's really cool to see as well, the terrain. Look at the graphics. That looks like Gran Turismo off-road style. Pretty killer. Can't wait to show you more when we're off-roading. Working our way down, you got ventilated seats, 3 stages, heated seats, 3 stages, so I'm happy to see that. You do have dual climate control, nice knobs, more stitching, toggle switches, lock the rear diff, both diffs, and then you can roll down all the windows all in one button. That's pretty cool. Wireless charging with some camo, USB-C, USB-A. I just thought of something. You know this toggle switch where you roll down the windows all at once? That's if somebody eats like a bunch of, Funyuns and Cheetos and stuff, and then they just rip one in the truck, and you feel like you're gonna die. You just hit that button just to air it out. Thank God they have that, because we know a lot of times your friends want to eat those Funyuns. Gross. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic. You got your mode selector knob. You also have your buttons to go into your 4x4 system. 2 cup holders. Nice high armrests, nicely padded with the stitching. Open it up, you got a little tray. Now this tray is great because what you could put in here are your mixed nuts, your almonds, your pistachios, your cashews. And then underneath, there's a 12 volt, and then that's where you could put a couple little Debbie snacks, maybe some Swiss cake rolls. I could use a Swiss cake roll right now. Or even a moon pie or 2. Seats. AEV embroidery, that's all you get. There's nothing extra on the seat that separates this from a ZR2. It is manual controls for the passenger, which is a bummer because it's a $66,000 truck. I have full electric, and you do get a standard size sunroof, which is nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel with the bow tie on it in this Colorado. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and you do get a full set of AEV. There's the Bison all-weather floor mats. That's going to be worth an extra 5 horsepower. You do have your power seat controls, easy to get to for the driver. I'm 6 feet tall, and I love the way they arrange the space up front. It's the space in the back where it gets a little on the tight side. Nice leather wrapped steering wheel. My only zonk is I would like to see the neon stitching. There's neon stitching everywhere in here, but what about on the steering wheel? Like the blacked out bow tie, some nice silver trim, flat black on the buttons, especially the heated steering wheel. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then of course you have your digital gauge cluster, which guess what? You could have it your way just like Burger King. You want the gauges like that? You can have it. You can change it up. Look at that, I could put the Google Maps there. Or, we're not done yet, you have your off-road display. Or, I'm not done yet, there's more. Or, we go back to this setup. Or, you could have it in the center there. So technically, you have about 6 different options. Look at that, Cool in the Gang. Celebrate good times, come on. And you could do that by off-roading and having your different screens. The one other thing I want to point out is everybody gets yellow seatbelts. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower, but it's sort of given me some PTSD. When I was a kid in elementary school, there used to be kids that were selected by the school to be the safety guards. And they used to have this. It used to be yellow, and then they would think that they were all the bosses and tell you not to run in the hallway and stuff. Of course, I never paid attention to them. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and then go for a spin in this ZR2 Bison. All right, guys, back seat time. And things have gotten a little bit better in the Colorado, but they're still kind of tight back here. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall. The good news is they carve out the headliner like you carve out a pumpkin to make it a jack-o'-lantern. But the other, I guess, bit of good news is I haven't moved my driver's seat. So where I had it set to be comfortable, I still got plenty of leg room. You're just sitting kind of upright, which I guess isn't so bad. It helps you practice good posture. You do have good pockets on the back. I would put a couple maybe maps back here, because if your infotainment system goes out or the Google Maps isn't working, it's nice to have some maps to get you back to safety. You got your 2 cup holders, little AC vents, but I'm glad that they're here. USB-C, USB-A, and a home power source down there with a cover. I'll cover it back up. Like I said, you're just sitting a little upright, but the seats are comfy. You do have a nicely, look at this, ooh, Charmin soft on the armrest. I do have a manual sliding rear glass window, and these seats are foldable. So you could fold them up, have storage. Obviously the one that I'm sitting on is also able to fold up as well to really maximize your storage in the back, but it's that time. If you're ready, I'm ready. I want to go off-roading in this Colorado. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison. Real easy when you get to the fun playground like we are here at the Rady's Rides off-road course. It's simple. You're just going to press on that mode selector knob area to go into 4 high. It displays on the lower left portion of the screen. And then I could easily lock the rear diff by just operating the toggle switch. And what's wonderful is I get to choose what screens I want available. So I have the terrain screen displayed on the infotainment system. I have easy access to cameras, so that's important. But then you also have the Baja option, or also the overlanding option, which is cool, the information that it gives you there. But we're gonna keep it in terrain. I do like the gauge set up the way I have it with the G meter, my temps, lets me know what gear I'm in, but there's a cornucopia of different information that you could have displayed. Even a comm screen, if you don't want too much information, you could have that displayed. But I'm gonna go, this one really kind of speaks to me. You can even have the Google Maps. I really like this one. But we'll just go ahead and put into drive. I have it in off-road mode, and if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. So as you can see, this is the area where you want to take a truck like this, because it allows you to do those truck things so very easily. and just showcase what the truck is sort of capable of. I mean, the way the multi-matic suspension is in this thing, it allows you to stay in control. You're not getting a lot of shakes and bumps that are being transferred not only into the cabin, but also nothing into the actual driver's seat, which is really incredible for a truck like this. You have your over 12 inches of ground clearance. And what makes this truck so awesome with it being a midsize is that you can position it just about anywhere you want. You got plenty of power from that 2.7 liter turbocharged engine. Definitely plenty of torque. But here we go through the sugar sand on throttle. Look at this. Really allows you to just be able to place the truck wherever you want. And then look at this, we're going down this tight area and it's a piece of cake. Look at this. There we go, through the mud. Little bit of a whoop section here, which in other trucks really beats the hell out of them. This thing, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Allows you to just go wherever you need to. Big, deep ruts out here. And because of the boron steel skid plates, it all comes down to suspension, man. That freaking multi-matic suspension is king. It really is. Another thing I really wanted to showcase here are the cameras. I mean, that's really where this Colorado ZR2 Bison really shines over the TRD Pro, is you have cameras out the front, like I showed you, every which way. And I love the way you have the washers so you can keep them clean. Nicely done underneath. But we're gonna go ahead and go on throttle. I'm in 4 high and I'm locking the rear diff. And if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, look at that. Go out the front here. Let me hit the button. There we go. All right, there's our big tires. Yee-hoo! This really is one heck of a Baja runner. And in this Florida sugar sand, really makes easy work of those situations. We get out of the cameras, we go back in, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back out the front. There we are. So as you can see, just being able to claw through whatever you need, and the fact that the suspension is keeping me so stable inside the vehicle, and I like the way that the camera stays on so that it's not switching on and off like some other OEM cameras do. But this thing is really a ton of fun, and the fact that you can position it, like I said, you could place this mid-sized truck anywhere in the path that you want because of the size, because of the control you have, the confidence and everything else. I mean, look at this. Here we go, yeah! Making it happen in the sugar sand. Really, really just freaking awesome what the capability of this truck is. I mean, look at this. The back comes out a little bit, just enough to where you're in control, and I always know where I'm at in my steering. And then this back section has some whoops. This is really telling of the dual spool valve technology. I'm not getting thrown around like a rag doll, which I can appreciate. All right, guys, one more time for me, one more time for you. We're gonna go on throttle. I brought my terrain mode so you can see the pitch, the roll, my tire pressures, all that good stuff. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, through the whoops. Look at this. Yee-hoo! So stable. So stable, even though that section is so ripped up, man. But just love the fact of how controllable this is, how much it wants to play and reward you. That to me is the best part. Look at this. Really just a ton of fun to be out here with you guys and show you what this truck is all about. Look at this. Through the sugar sand, over 12 inches of ground clearance. Nice. Just a little bit of a berm here. But I'm hoping that this has been a good off-road review for you. We're gonna get back to where it all started, back to civilization, and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, another great day. Nothing like getting down and dirty with an off-road truck, especially the ZR2 Bison. I definitely got to thank Cody and the rest of the team at Chevrolet for getting us access to this bad boy. Let me know what you think. Are you going Tacoma or are you gonna go Bison? Basically, right around the same price. So it's your money. You spend it the way that you want to. Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood Photography. He is an assassin with that camera. I'm glad he's working a camera and not a sniper rifle, because there would be some people that would be in a lot of pain. But thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.